Now let's execute a task. We are going to set up a Jenkins multi-branch pipeline so that whenever a release branch is created or whenever some changes happen in a release branch, Jenkins automatically detects the event and triggers the pipeline, but only for those release branches, not for other branches like feature, develop, etc. Let's first create a release branch in GitHub. This is my GitHub repository. Here click on new branch and create a new branch, for example release/gen-release, and source is main. Create a new branch. So by default, Jenkins multi-branch pipeline will not immediately create a job for a newly created branch like release/gen-release unless Jenkins scans the repository again. So go back to your Jenkins and here refresh. So we can see that release/gen-release branch is not being created. To make Jenkins automatically detect the event and trigger the pipeline whenever a release branch is created, we need to use webhooks. So for that, go to configure and here under scan repository triggers, select scan by webhook. This option allows the multi-branch scan webhook trigger to trigger a scan of this multi-branch job automatically. This option will appear only after you install multi-branch scan webhook trigger plugin. So if I click on this one, we can see this option is coming from multi-branch scan webhook trigger plugin. Now provide a token, for example Jenkins-token. So click on help. So here we can see we will need to provide Jenkins URL /multi-branch webhook trigger -invoke token and then token name. So this token is used to match incoming webhook request. In simple terms, Jenkins exposes an endpoint to this path. If Jenkins receives any HTTP request on this URL and the token matches, the Jenkins automatically triggers a multi-branch scan. So instead of Jenkins polling SCM again and again, GitHub will notify Jenkins directly. So here copy this and save it somewhere in the notepad and save the configuration of this Jenkins job as well. Apply and save. Just a quick thing, my Jenkins server is running inside a private network at 192.168.0.147:8080 while GitHub is hosted on a public internet. This is because of this network difference, GitHub cannot directly reach Jenkins. So to resolve this, I am using ngrok to expose my Jenkins server to the public internet. I have already done that and my Jenkins is accessible using ngrok now. Now let's update the payload URL. Copy the Jenkins URL from here and paste it here. Multi-branch webhook trigger invoke token is equal to Jenkins-token. Copy this and let's configure the webhook in GitHub. So for that, go to your repository SEH web app. So from here click on settings and from here select webhooks and add a webhook. Let me quickly pass the token. So here we will need to provide that payload URL. The payload URL here and content type, select the application JSON and click on add webhook. Once it is done, you can say last delivery was successful. So from here recent deliveries also you can check. Click on 3 dots and response is 200, means that means Jenkins successfully received the webhook and everything is working fine. Now go back to Jenkins and here reload the page. So here we can see release/gen release branch job is created automatically and the pipeline is executed, and this pipeline is also successful. Now let's make some changes in the feature/login branch and push the changes. So from here, code, select feature/login, and let's make some changes in the Jenkins file only. Edit, and commit changes. And here in the Jenkins, under multi-branch pipeline, under feature/login, so here we can see a new build is triggered, but according to our task requirement, builds should be triggered only for release branches, not for the feature and other branches. So if Jenkins starts triggering build for all branches, this can easily lead to a build storm, which causes unnecessary builds, high load on Jenkins, and performance degradation. So for this, solution is to suppress builds for non-release branches. To overcome this, we configure branch specific properties. So go to SCH web app, and from here click on configure, and from here go to properties strategy. Instead of all branches get the same property, select named branches get different properties, and here under exceptions, add exception, and here branch name, let's give feature/star, comma, develop/star. Now enable suppress automatic SCM triggering. This means Jenkins will still detect changes, but it will not automatically trigger builds for these branches. Feature/star and develop/star. Apply and save the changes. Now validate the behavior. Now again make some changes in the feature/login, or before that let's make some changes in release/gen release branch. Here edit it, echo build completed. Commit changes. Now go back here and reload. So it has started scanning again. So here we can see checking branches release/gen release and Jenkins file found and changes detected in this branch, and a scheduled build for branch release/gen release. If we go back to our pipeline, from here we can see build is triggered. Now let's test with a feature branch. Go back here, select the feature branch, feature/about let's say, and edit it. Make some changes. And commit changes. And check the Jenkins again. From here, scan repository log. It will take some time. So from scan repository log, we can see for feature/about changes detected, but did not schedule build for branch feature/about. Exactly what we want. By doing this, we have successfully completed the task. Only release branches trigger Jenkins build. Features and other branches do not cause unnecessary builds. This helps stop build storm in Jenkins. So this was the real world organizational use case. Well, in real world organizations, there can be parallel releases like Jan release, February release, March release and so on, and each release may have different features and timelines. In such cases, we can set up a multi-branch pipeline to build, run tests, perform sonar scan, upload stable artifacts to Artifactory. This is done only from release branches, and then deployment happens to SIT, UAT production using those artifacts from Artifactory. So in an interview, if you are asked, where have you used multi-branch pipelines? You can confidently say, we had multiple parallel releases like Jan, Feb, March releases. We used Jenkins Multibranch Pipeline to build, test, run sonar scans and upload stable artifacts to Artifactory using release branches only. And then deployments to SIT, UAT and prod were then performed using those artifacts. So that's all for today's session. If you really found this helpful, please hit like, share with your friends and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next lecture. Meantime, happy learning.